What do we think, Mr. Griffen? What do we think, Mr. Griffen of the Tiger Trio? He says, I think it's a beautiful day. And of course, another beautiful day living wild at heart here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, along with my 100 plus other rescued wildcat friends. And truly is a beautiful summer day. Welcome, everybody. I see Carrie's wishing everyone a good afternoon. Hey, Carrie, thanks for checking in. Jim Brill, greetings to you, Jim. Thanks for checking in and hanging out with Mr. Griffen here. Good afternoon, Tonya. He says, yeah, that paparazzi guy, he's just got nothing but words to say. He never comes with any food. Hey, everyone. Hope all is well. Hey, Kathy Barton. Welcome back, Judson. Thank you, Kathy. I had an excellent vacation last week. Very rejuvenating, very relaxing, and really just a great way to kick off summer, especially with the weather starting to act right, and it's just been a good break, and now I'm glad to be back with the cats. Thank you, Ashley, for wishing me a fantastic vacation. I certainly had one. Hey, Maria P. Let's see who else is here. Kathy Barton. Walt Howard from Ohio. Hey, Walt. Hey, Whitney Stuck. Thanks for welcoming me back. It was a long week on vacation, and I was just kind of sitting down this morning and collecting myself, and you know, it kind of takes a little bit out of you when you're gone for that long. I was just kind of reading the huddle notes from the past week, and just kind of meeting with my interns and just getting updates on any type of cats and things like that. So definitely a lot to do when you come back. And I'm trying to reconnect. We're going to be sharing some exciting news with everyone tomorrow, so definitely kind of getting our ducks in a row regarding that announcement. But good to be back nonetheless, and don't necessarily have anything particular planned for today's Sanctuary Stroll. The only thing I have kind of planned is we're just kind of going to paint the sanctuary red. We're going to really try to cover as much ground as we can. I'm going to walk across this little alleyway here, and we're going to find lions Sofi and Kimba both licking their chops because these two just enjoyed their daily meal here. Caretakers and interns were down working with Sofi and Kimba, and we know that Sofi and Kimba, if you've been following TWS for some time, these guys can be a little shy, they can be a little set in their ways. We certainly know that Sofi and Kimba do very much love their wild at heart life, but can be a little timid around people, and it's always awesome to see caretakers working with these two every single day to ensure that they're comfortable and coming up to the building and coming up into their shift. It's really awesome, and it's just such a great example of the kind of daily tasks that are you know, really kind of can be kind of tall tasks for our caretakers. And Sofi, she says, well, I ate, I'm cleaning my paws, you're cleaning my butt, mister. Hey, Steve McCole, welcome back. Thank you for that, Steve. Glad to be back from vacation. Tanya Toner's asking, can I see Shadow? Well, Tanya, we are going to be walking around today. I certainly will head that direction after we hang out with Sofi and Kimba for a moment and I catch up on some comments. Sue B saying, hope you had a great time. I had a great vacation, Sue. Thanks for asking. Hey, good afternoon, Pandora. Let's see who else is here. Jane Risdale. Hey, Jane. Good to be back. Ooh, Bree MacArthur knows what I was doing. I was fishing. Did you catch a lot of fish last week? I did. Lots of fish caught, and I was up in northern Minnesota, just south of Leech Lake in the Longville area. If anybody's familiar with Minnesota, Longville, Minnesota is where I was. Really beautiful area. Hey, Stephanie, glad to have you here with us. Glad everyone missed me as well. Look at this, Barbara F saying, I've been using my Amazon Smile. Hey, Barbara, that's so spectacular. We're so happy that you've selected TWS as your charity of choice. We know as a nonprofit here at TWS, we're often asking for your guys' help to support the cats financially. But hey, life happens, and you might not be able to offer a donation. But hey, you can sign up for our Amazon Smile, or name Wildcat Sanctuary as your charity of choice when you shop through Amazon Smile. And that's a free way to help cats like Miss Sofi. And it really is cool. I'm sure you guys get the email too. We do as well. And it'll kind of just say the quarterly donation that was given to your charity of choice, which would be the Wildcat Sanctuary. And oftentimes it's in the thousands of dollars. It's a pretty big amount, and a really great and free way to help the cats. Getting those paws clean, Miss Sofi. And we know Sofi and Kimba as two of the 7 lions that came all the way from Argentina here to the Wildcat Sanctuary. And Sofi and Kimba, though we are not a breeding, we don't breed here at the Wildcat Sanctuary as an accredited rescue for wildcats in need. We obviously don't want to create more of these wildcats to live a life in captivity. But Sofi and Kimba do have their son, Gino, living here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. He was born before these guys were rescued by TWS, but happy that your support allows a family group like this to live all under one roof here at TWS. I'm going to catch up on some more comments, and then we're going to keep on moving. Tanya saying hi to the interns. You gotta acknowledge Molly and Jamie. They did a great job on their live post last week as well. Yeah, Jennifer, interns did a superb job filling in. I concur. Lots of praise for the interns. Kudos to you, Molly and Jamie. Diane M. asking a question, a pretty common question we get in the springtime. How bad are the ticks there? Do the cats need treatment for them? And most definitely we'll experience kind of a surge of ticks really in the springtime. We're kind of coming out of really the window where there's going to be a peak in tick activity, but nonetheless we are for those cats that let us, we're applying kind of a topical solution similar to what you'd use on your dog, like a Frontline, for example. So some of the cats that are younger might not have any type of arthritic problems due to old age or having any type of physical compromises. Those guys, they're going to be able to groom and get rid of any type of ticks or bugs or anything like that. But for some of the cats that are geriatric, or as you know, being home to lots of those special needs cats that might have some mobility issues, we're certainly going to be giving them that treatment to make sure that those guys are staying tick free. And speaking of which, I certainly know at least last week we did have some of that Frontline, some of that solution on our Amazon wish list that we needed. And geez Louise, like so many things today, it has become very expensive. And that's just very generous and very much appreciated to those who have maybe already bought some off the wish list for us, or maybe you're thinking about it. I'm walking over to see if Leopard Shadow's enjoying herself. She was totally being a ham earlier today. And whenever I see a 21-year-old cat with so much life and being so vivacious as Shadow is, and goofy at that, it stands as one of the many testaments to what you guys allow the cats. And it is a little, there's not a whole lot of clouds in the sky. It's been pretty sunny. So I'm kind of cruising down Shadow's habitat here. And actually, I see that her indoor bedroom is closed. So I'm imagining caretakers are going to be in the building with her, maybe doing some feeding or something like that. But look at who I have here on the other side of me enjoying his afternoon. That's Mr. Simon, with his complete He's got his Zen face on, as you can see. Heidi Larkin saying, love all the beautiful green and shadow too. It's so green. That was one of kind of my biggest impression. It certainly was green when I left the other week, but just coming back, you guys were keeping in touch with some of the storms that we've had, and we've had a very steady supply of rain this year, which has caused the grass just to go bonkers. It has really flown up. The leaves have really kind of budded and are kind of full-bodied. It's beautiful, lush, and green, and just really kind of gives us some perspective as to what our cats get to enjoy day in and day out. It's so, so special. And I'm hoping that we'll make it all the way up to small cat track, excuse me. And we'll be able to see some of those serval habitats, and certainly the caretakers for tigers like Simon and Jeremy, they're going to be, mowing some pathways for them, but those guys, being two young tigers, they're really going to kind of trot where they want to trot and flatten out the areas that they want to. But for cats like Shadow, she has a little kind of mowed trail here. We know Shadow's 21 years old. And so a lot of the times, its caretaker is really kind of maintaining that overgrown look while still actually giving some navigable pathways for the cats. Like Bogart's here. You can see a nice little mowed pathway for that big guy, and plenty of green spots where he can just go and disappear to. And this is where it's a little challenging for the paparazzi sometimes when he has to come out here and do a live post and find some of the cats in their free roaming habitats, especially when all of this foliage has grown in. Well, I think this would be a good time to mention that we're formally going to be changing the live post time in which we go live every day here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Previously, and for the remainder of this week, you guys are familiar with us going live at the 2 p.m. Central Time. But we are going to be kind of changing things up, because as we're seeing here, it's the kind of beginnings of the dog days of summer here, where it can get pretty warm, and understandably so. A lot of the cats are wanting to kind of lay low and take advantage of maybe their indoor bedrooms or some of their shade spots. So starting next week, on next Monday, we will do our everyday live post, the Sanctuary Strolls, just like we do now, starting at 11 a.m. Central Time. So be sure to kind of mark that calendar. It's so fun seeing that you guys have little notifications in your phone for when we're going live. So be sure to change all those alarms. Tell your friends, tell your family, because we will be going live at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time starting Monday of next week. Let's see. And I'm really cruising around today. I think I see a couple of cheetahs down the way. I'm looking for beauty here. But again, with that, some of the caretaker activities near the central animal buildings, a lot of the cats go right up to there to see what they're doing. I'm just the boring old paparazzi. But nonetheless, glad to be back and having everyone along for a live post here at TWS. We have had an excellent week last week. I was just kind of watching from afar. Let's see if I can catch up to Lavani. That we had the little stock tank fundraiser, a little impromptu fundraiser, when caretaker Teresa noticed that 2 of our tigers were interested in swimming, but we needed to make a few modifications for those 2 to get wet along with the rest of our rescued tigers. And it's exciting that you guys were able to help purchase 2 special stock tanks for Miss Polina the tigress, as well as Miss Pandora. Now that's so special, So I'm glad I get to thank you guys in person. the social media crew was able to thank you guys last week too, but thank you guys for knocking that out of the park. That's so special. And look at this. I see Elyse is just wrapping. She's just wrapping up the work that she has been doing with Anastasia. You guys would have seen that photo, an update that we shared last week on social media. I might go walk up to her and just see how Anastasia did today. Are you wrapping up, Elyse? Or have you just starting? Interesting. Okay, look at this, folks. So we're gonna get out of the way a little bit. And so, if you're just joining us, everyone, we're live here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. That is caretaker Elyse, who's come down to work with one of our very shy residents. That's rescued Cougar Anastasia, who came to TWS. That would have been last spring after, from what we understand, was a pretty traumatic past. Anastasia was supposedly bought as a pet, then let into the wild, and was found emaciated. She had her tail degloved, as it was put, and really kind of horrible injury on her nose. And so what we're seeing Elyse do now is Elyse has a long kind of pole that she's hooked up a chicken piece to, and this is kind of just kind of butters the bread for Anastasia, so to speak. And so hopefully, if I keep my voice down, she's gonna pop out here and I like seeing the hisses because that's her telling us that she's doing it all on her own terms. But what I was saying is, so Elyse is using that long pole there, and that's to kind of just get, Anastasia's initial trust with us. And now you can see she's swapped out the pole and is now going to the tongs. And so, with what Elyse has been doing, she's now going to have Anastasia coming right up and tongue feeding from her. And obviously just, not pushing our cats out of their comfort zone, but just getting them used and comfortable to the presence of a human being if we ever need to look at Anastasia's body condition, if there was ever any type of vet concern, if she needed to be sedated for an exam, that we would be able to use the pole syringe and not the dart gun. There's just a myriad of benefits that when it comes to working with a cat like Anastasia and getting her more comfortable. But we're never, really want to push her outside of her comfort zone. We always want to work, within what she's willing to give us. And I'm hearing the crunch, crunch, crunch of that chicken piece. So it's the large chicken piece to start off with, and then Elyse is going to have some smaller pieces just to kind of, like I said, those smaller pieces will allow that frequency of her to be able to come back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that interaction is exactly what we're looking for. Her just gathering up the courage, knowing she's confident, knowing she can come and get that piece. There's there's no discipline, there's no nothing. It's come and get your chicken piece, enjoy it, and we're so proud of you, special lady. So I'm going to look at a few comments here, and I'm zoomed all the way in, everybody. So just to give you some context, that's Anastasia outside of her little dog glue. You can see some of the modifications in her habitat as well. She's got skywalks like some of our other rescued cougars enjoy, or perches or platforms. Some extra 2x4 on those platforms. Here we go, special girl. Good stretch, yes. Good stretch. Some extra kind of paneling on that platform to give a shy cat like her some just a little extra courage and spaces to feel secure. And I know she's kind of behind that water bucket, so I'm going to just step over a little bit. Good job, Anastasia. What a treat. What a treat. And it's kind of, you know, moments like this, you know, that should never go without saying. It's, you know, it's thank yous and acknowledgement to her sponsor parents and our TWS supporters who are allowing us to put the infrastructure in place to help cats like Anastasia, and you know, allowing us to ensure that Specialized is going to get the life that she deserves here. Nice job, and a bigger chicken piece for her. Great job. I know the phone was kind of acting funky for a moment there, everyone, so I apologize. But I'm really happy that we've been able to check this out. And so Elyse has got Anastasia down pretty well. So the last chicken piece, Anastasia notoriously will go and take it right around her mound. So I'm just going to see if I can give her all the space that she needs while we can still see her eating her chicken piece. I think we might be getting a cougar butt. But nonetheless, Miss Anastasia, we are so proud of you. Lots of praises in the comments, Elyse. Great work. Yeah, she did an awesome job. Oh, I see Torben, you're talking about how proud you are of your sponsor girl, and rightfully so. That's so awesome. I think she's doing excellent, and it's thanks to people like you who are supporting her every step of the way, Mr. Kitu. He says, yes, sirree, I know a lot about steps. I take big steps with my long cheetah legs. Yes, sir. Oh, and a big sneeze, mister. Yeah. I can't walk this way. I gotta keep on heading up into Wildcat Pines, and we're gonna go stop over in a small cat truck. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, and look at how excited everybody is about Anastasia in the comments. That's so cool to see everyone. She was prowling around a little bit for Elyse. I was going to see. Yeah. Nice job. Look at her go. I know it's kind of an awkward position for us, but I think Elyse just has some little schnibbles in there that we saw kind of Anastasia being curious about food. So a little extra treats for you, special girl, because you did an awesome job. You did an awesome job. What a strong and independent and fierce girl. Attaway, Anastasia. Awesome, everyone. I've really been appreciating your guys' patience when it comes to not just getting a cat like Anastasia on a live post, but documenting her life here at TWS in general. And so I'm really glad that we were able to get some of those photos and video that we shared last week of her, and now we got to see it in real time. Elyse using kind of the long pole and has kind of devised a method in which is kind of best for Anastasia, and it's really cool that we just got to see all of that unfold. All right, next stop, small cat track. Hope everybody's doing well. It's a marvelous day here at the Wildcat Sanctuary in Sandstone, Minnesota. Who have we seen today so far? I think we kicked off the day with Tiger Griffen napping in the tall grass. We went over and saw Sofi and Kimba enjoying their afternoon, licking their paws after finishing up their meal. And really happy to have just caught Anastasia working with caretaker Elyse. It looks like that's probably going to be the highlight of today's live post, and rightfully so. There's the woman of the hour. And so, Elyse, you said that was a really good session. So what?
That was awesome.
So what do you mean by that exactly?
So Anastasia, she does tend to do best when there's just one person around. So to have you there talking, to have her come out and like eat her whole meal and just kind of walk and eat there and come back for seconds, that's awesome. That just shows that she's feeling confident, that she's feeling good, and that we're showing her that it's okay. You can come up at your own time. And like, that was awesome. Usually in the past when we first started with her, she wouldn't come up if a second person or somebody's talking too much, or if there was groups training, she would.
Well, and I was even directly behind you for a second too, where, you know, usually if I can kick over to the side, but yeah, that was she did an awesome job
or
today.
Or movement or any of that, she just gets a little distrusting. Usually I walk her up to the bungalows, but I chose not to do that today because you were standing there, so I thought it was going really well, so I chose to just feed her in her yard. And like, that was awesome to see that she's got that confidence. So.
Well, everybody's buzzing in the comments, so we're feeling the euphoric vibes just like you are. All right, get my microphone clip back on here. Sorry, old crazy Judson. There we go. Oh, there we go. All righty. We are going to take a right, and we're going to check into Small Cat Track. Like that new apparel idea. I see Nadia in the comments. Good to have you back, Nadia. Kendra Ditto saying Anastasia coming back for seconds was awesome. She walked right up. Yeah, I was very, very impressed with both Elyse and Anastasia. Tanya Toner's asking, how is Merlin? And Merlin's doing awesome. Interns, excuse me. We're taking some photos of that special boy this morning. I'm sure we'll see a few photos or maybe a video of him pop up on Facebook soon. But looking for maybe Bruno. Looking for some Serval. Maybe Rio, maybe... Oh, look at what we have here. If it isn't Mr. Bruno. You find the most interesting places, Bruno, to hang out. And I think this one, yeah, I'll sit right here, mister. I'll sit right back here. And I think this hangout is born out of you wanting to look at Scarlet and Little Diva across the way. Quite the contrast from what Mr. Bruno is enjoying right now, a lush, green, free-roaming habitat and a compassionate life here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, compared to just this January, him being found roaming the suburbs of Boston in the middle of winter. It's just absolutely incredible what some of these cats have to experience due to the selfishness of human beings when they don't realize that a wild cat, an African serval, does not make an appropriate pet. And unfortunately, due to the circumstances, we don't know Bruno's true origins. We don't know if he was a pet. We don't know if he was being used to breed hybrid cats like savanna cats. But nonetheless, just a dire situation that we would never wish upon any animal, let alone a wild cat. And the fact that, unfortunately, Mr. Bruno was injured during the time that he was out. He had to have it would have been his back right leg amputated. But again, that was all back in January. Mr. Bruno has joined the ranks as one of our tripod residents, P-A-W-E-D. Chili, Bruno, and Mr. Claude, the bobcat. What are you doing with that flickering tail? Yeah. But you can see he's kind of nestled himself into the tall grass. But just like I said, I can kind of pull up here. And you can really see that Bruno, he's got some wide pathways and lots of areas for him to hop along and not be, not be held back by some of that tall grass. But as you can see, he says a serval's a serval. And I do like a little tall grass, so let me enjoy it. And thank you. Also interesting enough with Mr. Bruno here is I have never seen a serval stalk like Bruno does. He's a big stalker. And of the photos that we've taken of Mr. Bruno, he, he's kind of hiding in the grass. He's, very stealthy, has these wide eyes and almost looks like he's frightened, but it's quite the opposite. It's Bruno stalking us with kind of the eye of the tiger, and it's just very entertaining. I'm happy to see that Mr. Bruno is such a proud predator, because he's definitely in a place where he'll be respected as such. Go's habitat, has a couple favorite hangout spots here in the afternoon, but I'm not seeing him. Connect. Another thing that would be good to know in this sentence, but we had our internet people out here last week to kind of troubleshoot some of the issues that we've been experiencing, and I have been noticing that the connection has dropped a pretty significant amount. So if you guys have noticed that as well, definitely comment and let us know, so we can continue to get to the bottom, Mr. Felix, of some of the frustrations we've been having with our internet. So definitely I would certainly appreciate everyone's input on that, because certainly want to get to the bottom of that. I feel like it's been a little bit of a rocky summer in terms of our service and connection here. What do you think, Mr. Goofy? Chrissy P saying, yes, it's choppy. That's no fun, Chrissy. Thank you for your feedback, though. Yep, I'll have to maybe go back and note where I was having some drops as well. Looking over at Caracol Aurora's yard, and I think I can already just see our live post starting next week, Mr. Merlin. Tanya was asking about you, Goofy. That at the end of this week would be the last time we're going to be doing the 2 o'clock live post. We're going to try to shift things a little bit earlier on to the day. Like I said, we're entering the quote-unquote dog days of summer, Mr. Merlin. He says they should be called the cat days of summer. And definitely will be a little bit more of a kind of active Sanctuary Stroll when we do them around that time. I think I know exactly where I'm going to end my live post, and that is saying hi to Bengal Puma. And I'm going to catch up on a few comments because I've kind of been cruising around and looking for cats. And then we're going to call that a stroll for the day. It's great to be back, everyone. I appreciate you guys giving me a warm welcome back, and it's rejuvenating to be back with the cats, Mr. Puma, and to see how green it is, and also to be sharing some exciting news with everyone tomorrow, Mr. Puma. Yeah, so I mentioned that earlier, and I just want to make sure everybody sign up for our e-newsletter. Yes, sir. Yeah. What do you think, Goofy? What do you think, Goofy? You're such a big boy, Mr. Puma. Yes, he says. Here we go. Here we go. All right, I'm trying to catch up on a few comments while I have Mr. Puma trying to rub on me here. Yeah, I like seeing somebody was commenting, I wish the people on TikTok would learn they're not pets. You know, I definitely agree, and I think that, with kind of, some of the advents in social media and platforms, especially like TikTok, sorry, Mr. Puma, it's definitely can be one of those platforms where it can be a little problematic and kind of glorify something like exotic pet ownership when you're only seeing about 60 seconds of it or 30 seconds of it. It's very much a misportrayal of what it's like to have one of these wild cats as pets, and is kind of far from the glamorous nature that the people purport it as. And unfortunately, you come to places like the Wildcat Sanctuary and learn the stories of some of these cats and where they've come from, and they're very much just part of the issue where people are thinking that these cats are appropriate pets. They saw it on the internet. They thought it looked cool. And Mr. Puma, I love all of you so much. I cannot overstate that. But the reality is, you guys are wildcats. And it's not fair to you for us humans to be selfish and want to have you in our possession when that's maybe not the right thing for you. And it definitely can be frustrating, but I'm glad that Puma here and everyone here at the Wildcat Sanctuary can do right on those that we've rescued and hopefully make a change for those yet to come. Whenever I go through the comments, of course, I see something, and then I just go off on a little bit of a tangent, Mr. Puma. Yeah. Beautiful Puma. Gracie Hart saying, 11 a.m. is great. I get to watch while having my lunch. I love that, Gracie. Great to hear. And definitely sound off in the comments if that 11 o'clock is going to work for everyone. I'll definitely be reiterating the time change throughout the week to make sure that we are getting everybody on the same page and won't leave anybody behind. But I think that's going to be a great change, Mr. Puma. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree, Goofy. All right. Just going to flip up here. Awesome. Thanks for you guys giving me feedback on the connection on today's live post as well. Very, very much appreciated, Puma. That makes my life a lot easier when I get everybody's help. All right, everyone. Happy Monday. It's great to be back with the Wildcat Sanctuary and all of you. As I've hinted at, we're going to be sharing a special announcement with everyone tomorrow. So certainly keep your eyes peeled on your inbox if you're subscribed to our e-newsletter. And then, of course, on our Facebook page later that day. But until then, Mr. Puma, I hope everyone has a great rest of their afternoon and evening, and thank you so much for all that you do here for the cats of the Wildcat Sanctuary, and looking forward to sharing more of our rescued residents with everyone tomorrow. Bye, everyone.